Maybe there's like some kind of cinematography skill for capturing sparkles, but I don't know it. Welcome to the Cluttered Corner. I'm Chelsea, and today is day 29 of Inktober. So, wait, I don't want to draw with that one. I want this one. Today's word is navigator. This is a month of writing prompts in October. That's why it's called Inktober. And we're almost done. So, a navigator. And I'm just finding out the words right before this. I haven't seen them ahead of time. I'm just doing whatever, and these are real-time videos of me just seeing what happens. A navigator. Well, when I first heard the word, I thought Chloe had said an abigator. So, I'm gonna draw a alligator, which I guess is some sort of crocodile. Oh, this one's got a very long mouth. I can never remember which one's. It's something about their teeth. Alligators and crocodiles. How many teeth they have that come out. I think also their snouts are like a different size. This is not how I usually draw. So I am, or like I don't usually draw from the side. So it's kind of tough. But I'm putting a map in this guy's hands. I should have drawn the map first. He's also not even looking at it. Is this even how you navigate? Let's draw. I don't know if it's clear that it's a map, but we'll know. We'll know it's a map. Navigator. There we go. I have another drawing of a crocodile. I call it Crocodile Christmas. I mean, it's a crocodile like at Christmas, and it also kind of has this weird, like, it's not looking at what it's doing. So I'm not sure what it is about crocodiles and alligators that makes me draw them that way. Just being like, doo-doo-doo. Head in the clouds, messing with something. I think they have this ridge. I don't know. Well, it's looking more like a dinosaur. And it just looked too empty here. So I'm adding some more ridges, but now, oh boy. Yeah. I'm gonna draw like a compass. It's a big compass, but it's not really here. It's just like, like the thought of a compass. West goes there. This is east. That'd be north there. So it's just like, these are his big dreams of navigation. And one of these things, I don't know what this is. It's measuring stuff. And like maybe some constellations. I don't know what's going up here in the thoughts. He's got big dreams of navigation. He's gonna sail the seas and fly the airs. Probably someday. And maybe there is like a little airplane here. Is he getting in it? Can he fly? I don't know. Should he? He looks like he's not really paying attention. I don't think he should get in this plane. But he's just the navigator, so we don't know. Is his dream to fly or is his dream to navigate? This does not look real. This looks like a propeller plane that you would make out of like balsa wood. He definitely shouldn't get in that plane. And let me draw like one of them hats like Amelia Earhart would wear. Let me just spread some gossip about Amelia Earhart. Well, okay. I heard maybe she got eaten by crabs, by coconut crabs. They're so scary. Like, they are terrifying. And they could have eaten her if she crashed on one of their islands. They're just these big-ass crabs that, like, climb down from trees and, like, eat you. Ugh. But that's not the gossip I was going to talk about Amelia Earhart. It was, I think I heard this on the Alarmist podcast, which is a good podcast. They talk about stuff like from history and events and things, and not all of it's historical. Some of it's, modern, just celebrity stuff, but some of it's like historical events, and try and kind of come to a conclusion of like who's to blame for this. And it's a fun podcast. It's not like serious, like mean or anything. It's just, it's just for fun. And I mean, I don't know what it would be if it wasn't for fun, but so they were talking about her, and she didn't actually hadn't learned how to use the radio or something. Like her or her flying partner, they didn't actually know how to use it. Like it was new or something, and they hadn't learned. I don't know. There was some questionable things about their trip that were oh, I can see why that maybe went wrong. Not to say it's her fault, but just that it's probably not the fault of a magical Bermuda Triangle thing, but also we can't ever say it wasn't, yeah, here we go. This is the picture. This is a map book, and maybe I can make it clear that this says map. We can't see the whole word though. I don't know why he's got that. It seems behind the times, but we don't know what time this is taking place. And clearly his plane is also made of balsa wood, so we don't know what's going on here. I'm trying to think what colors I want to use. And I think I'm going to go with these. Because these are right here. They're easy to grab. And I got some good greens in this set. But yeah, so Amelia Earhart may be a bit unprepared. Her and her flying partner dude, maybe weren't actually learning the things they needed to learn in order to... Oh, no, I don't know that it was... I think it was they threw out the radio or something weird. Something crazy that's maybe you needed that, But they didn't fully know how to use it either or something. I don't know. I gotta listen to that episode again before I spread more rumors about her, but it was really interesting. The thing about the coconut crabs, I read in an article, and it didn't say, oh, she was for sure eaten by them, because we don't know, but it was maybe, and I think they did find I don't know, a body or skeleton or something that could have been hers that was eaten by crabs, but no one will ever know. So, yeah, that's, I guess, a fun historical mystery. I don't know if that's fun. It's at least interesting. I think, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff like that that's just unsolved, and it always feels oh, but if I just got my hands on it, I could find it out. No, we couldn't. I mean, I don't mean you, I mean me, maybe you could. Somebody maybe could solve it. But also a lot of these things, it's there's not evidence anymore. There's not anything to know. And another really good podcast I listened to, which is much more serious, is what's it called? It's called Bad Women. I think that's what it's called. And it's about the victims of Jack the Ripper, or at least the first season is. The second season is about some stuff that happened to women in World War II. That I didn't like that season as much. I didn't get as into it, but it was still interesting. I didn't feel like it had the same. I don't know. I didn't enjoy it as much as the season about Jack the Ripper stuff, but not. I don't think it was the subject matter. I don't know. I'm just not sure what it was about it. Maybe it felt less focused. I don't know. Or maybe it's fine and I was just less focused. That happens too. So the first season though, about the victims of Jack the Ripper is really interesting. And goes into a lot about like Victorian times and how hard it was. And basically, I mean, if you're interested in that, you should go listen to that podcast. And I think she has a book too that's about the same thing. But it goes into depth about their lives and about how, like, probably none of them were prostitutes. They just were women who were, like, having trouble in their lives. And Victorian times were not friendly to women. They weren't friendly to pretty much anybody, but especially if you were a woman, and especially if you ended up in like a bad situation where you didn't have a man taking care of you, I guess. I hate to say that, but that's like kind of what it boils down to. Then you were basically just out on the street, and the streets were like super dark, and whoever, and like in that, she talks a lot about how basically like there's a lot of dudes who are like really obsessed with Jack the Ripper, and it's creepy and weird, and that they want to, like, they're all wanting to know who he is or something. But so I do find it, like, I want to know, I do find that, like, that curiosity of just, like, we got to solve this. I want to know who it was. And it's like, it doesn't matter. Because it's like, are you even going to know who he is? It's like, oh, some dude down the street. And you're like, oh, I don't know him. Like, he's not anybody. It's not going to mean anything. But at the same time, there's still that curiosity of, like, well, who? But a lot of these people are, like, fascinated for the wrong reasons, where it's like they want to shake his hand or have a beer with him or something. That kind of weird where you're like, why are you admiring this dude? Like, ugh. And that I totally am like, yeah, don't do that. But, and I mean, the lives of the victims was so interesting. And I mean, we know who they are and we know stuff about them. But we don't really know that much about him. So there's that too. And I really love, so I love investigative podcasts, and but it doesn't have to be about murder. Like, if it's about murder, I kind of want it to be something from the past or something that's like more removed so that I don't feel scared. But like, if you know any good podcasts that are investigative, or like whether it is or is not about murder, leave me a comment. Please let me know. I need more of them. I need more. I listened to this other one. I can't remember what it was called, but they also did like some historical stuff. And like they did those. I can't remember their names, but there was like these dudes who like were stealing bodies. Well, it was them and their wives, I think, were stealing bodies. Or no, they were providing bodies. They owned like not a hotel. I don't know, boarding house? Maybe it's a hotel. I don't know, something where you would stay, but then they were like murdering people and selling their body parts. I think they made a movie of that, and I can't remember if that's true or if I'm just like mixing up two things. But anyway, that podcast that I really can't remember the name of did a thing about that, and that is pretty creepy, but it was also like, it's far enough removed that, but yeah, any kind of investigative ones. Also ones that are like fictional ones like that. What was the one? I can picture it in my mind, but I can't think of it. There was one that was like fake like that, and I can't think of it. But there's also like American Vandal on Netflix, which is like a mockumentary of like, that one is so funny. I wish they'd gotten to make more of that one. But yeah, I guess, I don't know, I like investigative stuff. I guess just that, like, what's gonna happen next. And I love the way that they talk in those documentaries and stuff. Like, just that style. Okay, it's got some trees behind him. I gotta paint this faster. I don't know why. I don't know why I gotta paint it faster. Like, who's timing this? I mean, my camera is, but, you know, there's no time limit on this. I'm really liking this green on his, like, ridges. You know, I think they do have that. I think they do have that, maybe. Yeah. It doesn't go like this, though. But we'll say that's a style choice. He's styled them that way. And there's, like, that thing where, like, alligators can, like, I don't know, like, decide what, if they want to have, like, male babies or, like, female babies by, like, how the temperature is. Like, they bury the eggs, like, a different amount or something. I think that's really interesting. I think that's true. I think that's a real fact. I'm sure I've seen it on, like, nature shows and stuff. I just also worry that, like, what if that's outdated? Like, I also learned that Pluto's a planet, and it's not anymore. So, like, I mean, I still stand by it. Justice for Pluto. But, like, you know, things change. And sometimes the stuff that you learn in school turns out to not be the thing anymore. And I don't know if we learned that. We didn't learn that in school. I've just seen that on, like, nature shows and stuff. I'm sure we didn't learn that in school. I don't remember learning anything about alligators. Or maybe we did. We might have learned something about their teeth. But I, again, don't know. Basically, like, if you're in Africa or Australia, it's a crocodile. And if you are in the southern United States, it's an alligator. And if you're just seeing it, like, on TV or on the internet or something, then you gotta be looking at their teeth. You gotta know. Now, I don't know what color are airplanes? Red? It's balsa wood, but I don't know. Can I do a good brown? Okay, I'm gonna put this in here. We're gonna try this out. We're gonna see what we get. And whatever we get, that's what we're using. Okay, it's not balsa. But I have a limited palette here. It could have more yellow in it, and that would be more of a balsa color. But yeah, this is like one of those ones where you would make it and you have that rubber band on it, you know, and you twist the front and then you let it go and it goes. And, I used to love stuff like that. Because again, as I was talking about in my last video, I was obsessed with flying, with somehow being able to fly, even though it didn't make any sense. And, you know, it was one of those dreams that I thought, I'm never going to get over this. I know it's never going to happen, but I'm never going to get over it. But I do feel like I have gotten over it. That's why I talk about it every day in these videos. No, I don't talk about it every day. But it is something that I feel like, you know, I'm okay with that. I can live with that. I can live with not having the power of flight, personally, you know. Yeah, I don't know if I like how this, it's okay. It's okay. Now, for this, I think a compass needs to be gold. The Golden Compass. Have you read those books? I listen to the audiobooks. They're so good. I don't know if they're... I know they've been redoing, like, the short ones, like the novellas, but I don't know if they've redone... I hope they don't redo the main ones, because they're full cast, and, like, Philip Pullman, the author, he reads the, he's the narrator, and, like, he does such a good job. Those are so good. And I love those books. They're weird, and I could not tell you what was actually happening in them. But the emotions in them are so strong. And, I don't know, I haven't reread them in a long time. I did try reading it, like, in ebook form, and I didn't actually finish the first one. But I have them in audiobook now. I had originally gotten them from the library. But then I was like, I better get them in case they change them. Or you can't get them anymore. So I have them all now, and I could listen to them. But also they make me really sad, like, in the end. But, you know, that's a long ways off. That's many hours away. And, I don't know. It's... Obviously, it's not bad if a book makes you feel something. But then I also find myself being like, I don't want to feel that. There's a show. I know there's a show. I haven't seen it yet, though. I hear good things, but I also can't think of anything specific I've heard. Just I think people like it. So, you know, that seems promising. I'm going to put this color on here. It's kind of a, I think this is called caramel. I'm not sure. It's one of these gold ones, but this brush not going to do it. I'm going to use this other brush. I need more water. Stat. You know, medical shows are always saying stat. Stat is Latin for immediately. That's not the full word. The full word is statum. But I assume that's where that comes from. I assume it's not a coincidence. But I guess I haven't verified it. So, you know, I'm not going to verify it. But, I mean, I'm sure that's where it's from. I majored in Latin, if you don't know. I don't think I mentioned that on this channel. So that's why I know that, I guess. I know when I was a kid, it was always this thing on doctor shows where they're saying that, and everybody's like making fun of it, being like, what is that about? And then when we learned that word in Latin, I was like, oh, that's what that's about. Now, this compass is beautiful, sparkly. It's great. This thing, I'm not sure what color that is. I think it's going to be this color, because I don't really know. I mean, this was supposed to be like, I don't know what this is. It's an astrolabe? Is it a different kind of compass, like a math compass? Is it, I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's just something he's thinking about. He dreamed it up, maybe. Maybe it's not even real. Alright, I get some brown. Add a little bit more red to this brown. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. But I did it. And I'm putting that here. It's kind of a weird color for this tree trunk, but, you know, I think it kind of works. I'm going to put it right there. Trying to think, what other podcasts have I been listening to? I listen to a lot of podcasts, apparently. You know, the podcast app, it tells me, like, stats and stuff, and then, like, it'll tell me, like, oh, here's how much you've skipped of podcasts or whatever. And I know last year, this was, like, a real, like, I don't know, eye-opener, I guess, but it was, like, you've skipped, like, 19 hours of stuff, and I only am skipping commercials, and I was like, oh my god. I skipped 19 hours of commercials? How much have I listened to? I mean, listening to it is fine. I'm usually doing other stuff. You know, like, I mean, even if I'm not, it's like, whatever. It's fine to be listening to podcasts, but, like, 19 hours. And that wasn't even a full year, because that was only, like, half the year, because I had to switch apps. So, that's a lot. And that's just one app. And unfortunately, I don't think there's a way to not have commercials in that one. Or if there is, I don't want to pay for it. I don't know. I don't think there is. I used to have Stitcher, which I liked, and it was like $30 a year for like the premium one where you don't have commercials. On most things, anyway. Like, 'cause some of them already have commercials like burned in. But I think just like the Stitcher ones themselves didn't, and that was great. And I found that to be, I'm not really one for subscriptions. Those commercials come on that are like, do you know how many subscriptions you have? People think they have this many. I'm like, no, I know exactly how many subscriptions I have, and I know how much they all cost. But that, I don't know, $30 a year? Not bad. Some monthly thing that's going to be more than that. I don't know. But I also don't think, I'm using Pocket Casts. I think that's what it's called. And I don't think it has anything like that. So I think I'm just kind of stuck with skipping through the commercials, which sucks. I don't know why I'm trying to use green on this, and I don't know why. I don't know what color. What color is the map thing? It's probably blue. Probably blue. I do not miss paper maps. Like, I feel like you're supposed to, I don't know. I don't know what this supposed to is. I don't know who says this, but like, you know, you're supposed to be like, oh, things were better when, you know. And it's like, no, I don't think they were. Like, I do not miss paper maps. I do not miss trying to fold them up. I do not miss not knowing where I am. I do not miss having to ask other people for directions. Or what else? What else do phones do? Because phones, they just have the map. They can tell you how to go. And if you get mixed up, they can tell you how to go instead. Because they can just change it. And I don't know, it's really nice. I guess being able to call for help, like if you get lost or stuck or something, that's also nice. And I mean, like, I, you know, lived through times when that wasn't a thing, and I'm still like, man, I don't know what you're supposed to do if you get stuck somewhere. I mean, you know, I guess you find a payphone and you have to call, but that sucks. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out a way to make like a gray color for like this airplane hanger. Is what I'm saying this is. All airplane hangers are gray. They're all made of that one like corrugated metal. I mean, I don't know anything about airplane hangers, but this is what I think. In my mind, that's what they are. This doesn't even look like corrugated metal, because corrugated metal is always rusty. But this is great. And metallic. You know, I feel like I had something else to report, and I can't remember what it was. Something. I don't know where this roof goes to. I didn't actually draw that part. So I'm just gonna like put it up here, see how it goes. So yeah, this month is almost over. I've been posting every day. So there's a lot more of this if you are enjoying this. If you're enjoying this, hit like. And if you want to come back for more, you know, go ahead and subscribe. I got more. There's a whole playlist of these. And this has been a really fun exercise in just, I don't know. You know, like, has my drawing improved? I don't know. I don't think so. That wasn't really my goal. But, like, you know, it's really been fun. Just showing up every day. And, like, knowing, I guess, what I'm going to do. Being like, well, I mean, I guess I don't know what I'm going to do because I don't know what these are going to be. But just, you know, being like, well, I'm going to make a video today. I don't know what it's going to be. And then, you know, accomplishing it. And that feels really fun. It is kind of like, I don't know, you're showing up to like the blank page and being like, well, what am I going to write today? I don't know. And we'll see. Like I was talking about the other day, November is traditionally for writing, but is that what I want to do? It is what I want to do, or what I want to do, but do I actually want to? Don't know. I mean, but that's a whole mess. I gotta fix this. There we go. But yeah, I'll still be posting videos. I'm not sure what my schedule's gonna be. I have to decide that, because it's still a new channel, and I basically just jumped into it with like, well, I'm doing one every day for Inktober. And I don't want to do one every day. But I also feel like once a week's not enough. I want to be doing more than that. Because talking into a microphone makes me feel alive. So I want to get to do that more than once a week. I guess I could just talk into a microphone and not post. But why wouldn't I post stuff? Like, I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to feel like I have to like suppress the things that I'm interested in. And that nobody's telling me to, except, you know, in my brain, all the people who've ever looked at me weird because I was interested in something, you know? Like, I know some of you know what I'm talking about. Like, and I don't know that anybody's ever, like, said anything to me or, but there's just kind of this, like, vibe people have where they're, like, clearly weirded out that you're, like, excited about anything or, I don't know, or want to, like, be productive or do stuff. And, well, I mean, I guess if you talk about it in terms of, like, being productive, then people understand that, and they're like, oh, yeah, hustle culture, let's go. But, like, just in general, being like, I want to do this thing, and being excited about it, I feel like it shouldn't be a weird thing, but I don't know. I feel like I've gotten flack for it my whole life. So, but, I mean, hopefully in creative stuff, if you're making, like, creative stuff, you're supposed to be making things, and people like it if you make a lot of things. I don't think anybody's going like, hey, stop making content. Oh my God. Like, if they're there for it, they're there for it. But, I do feel like over the years then I've kind of trained myself to try and be like, oh wait, better hold back. Better not, like, be having fun or, like, or, too much fun or whatever, or, like, letting everyone know that I'm, like, enthusiastic about a thing, because, I don't know, people might be weird about it. And, again, I think I know where it comes from, but I also don't have any specific incidents to point to and say, like, oh, yeah, people are like this at this time, or this specific thing, like, traumatized. It's like, I don't know. It just feels like something that is a thing. And I know other people experience this, but, like, I don't know. I don't know how to not feel that way. I guess just do stuff and see what happens. Because, like, I guess I feel a made-up pressure then to, like, suppress things when I'm interested in stuff. And then doing that, though, makes you less interested, or it makes you not actually work on them when you're that excited about them, and then it becomes harder to work on them. And so it's like, well, just, strike while the iron is hot, forge that metal, and, like, don't just be like, oh, well, I have to wait some arbitrary amount of time to, like, start projects or do things because this is what I think people who aren't even, like, actual people, just, generic people, like, want you to do so that they feel more comfortable or something. I don't even know. I don't know. It doesn't have anything to do with anybody else. So, I don't know. I don't know why that happens. And I'm definitely happier when I'm not trying to do that. I guess there's things where people are like, oh, you're starting really early on whatever. And maybe they don't even mean it as, like, a, maybe they don't even mean it as a judgment, but it's really easy to take things that way. And especially if you have people, commenting on things like that all the time, or whenever you do stuff, then you're like, oh no, I'm showing too much enthusiasm again. I better wait and pretend like I don't care. Pretend I'm too cool for school. But I don't know. I think when you're enjoying stuff, you should just enjoy it and do it. As long as it's not hurting anybody. Obviously, I'm not, like, I'm not advocating for, like, things that are dangerous or bad for you. But just, if you're like, man, I want to paint a picture. Well, just paint a picture, And it sounds ridiculous to say it out loud and be like, people might be, like, annoyed that, like, I'm so interested in painting a stupid picture. And it's like, yeah, that's ridiculous. This is looking good. This looks kind of like the moon, but it's this big shiny compass. I don't know if it's clear that these are his thoughts. Is this a surreal painting? I said yesterday I don't like things that are surreal. And that's true. But, I don't know. I'll forgive this alligator for maybe being kind of surreal. But I still think these are his thoughts. We can just see them. This is not a hat in the air. It's his thoughts about it. But this plane is real. Will it fly? I don't know. It looks a little bit more flight worthy now that I've painted it. Though I did paint it balsa wood color. I think this is it. I could do some more, but I don't know. I feel like it's done. turned into a nighttime scene, but I think that's okay because then you can kind of see, it really makes the compass stand out. The compass is shiny, and I don't know if you can see that in the videos. It's really hard to capture shines, or not shines, but like sparkles. It's hard to capture sparkles on camera, I have discovered, whether it's like a still photo or like, what's this called? Video, duh. It's just not the same as in real life. And I don't know how to capture that. Maybe there's like some kind of cinematography skill for capturing sparkles, but I don't know it. So anyway, there we go. That is Navigator, misheard as Alligator. So that's it for today. Hit like, hit subscribe. There's a notification bell thing I think you can hit. Probably wait till November, so you're not getting one every day. But anyway, that's it from me for today. I will see you next time on the Cluttered Corner.